High School in historic Wellsburg, West Virginia. WTRF proudly presents Ohio Valley Tonite with Nathan Marshall. Tonight's guest, Scott Connor.
Welcome to another edition of Ohio Valley Tonite, and tonight we are joined by Hollywood special effects and makeup artist Scott Connor. Thank you for coming in, Scott. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And he has a couple of his works on display here, which we'll talk about in a little bit. We have some students who are getting made up and makeup, which is really awesome. So we have a lot of things going on today. But Scott, you have quite a resume. It's very extensive, and it's also very impressive. You've worked on movies such as Apocalypto, Mel Gibson's film before he was a bigot. That's good. Charlotte's Web, the live-action one, not the cartoon, evidently. Sure. War of the Worlds, which is the most hard movie ever to say. The Alamo, Garfield, Superman Returns, and Batman, the new Batman movie came out.
Dark Knight Rises.
And I think a movie that was definitely robbed of the 2006 Oscar, Big Mama's House 2.
Yes.
Martin Lawrence's best work.
Definitely robbed.
I'm a big Martin Lawrence fan. That is his best work, by far, number 2.
Yes, indeed.
With all this experience in film, though, and television, what's the most challenging special effects or makeup project you've ever had to undertake, and why was it that way?
Challenging-wise, I would say it wasn't a makeup job, but it was special effects related. The 2010 Shark Week for Discovery Channel.
My favorite week of the year.
It is very, and I kind of always had like a little phobia of sharks. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, if you go into a swimming pool, you're afraid there's a shark in there. I mean,
exactly, exactly. I grew up on Jaws, so you know, like
scared the crap out of everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a little bit weird, but we had to make 2 life-size sharks, a bull shark and a great white shark. Life-size, fully functioning.
Oh my gosh.
In water.
That's a big challenge.
In 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks? Who in the world were you working for? The ancient Egyptians?
Yeah.
Back to work, Scott. Back to work.
No, they're called producers. Almost as bad.
Same thing. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what everybody wants nowadays. They want it faster and cheaper.
Yeah.
And
well, don't we all?
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes physics doesn't. You know, there's only things only cure so fast. So. But we got it done. It was for, I believe the show was called Shark Bite Beach.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And they did reenactments of actual shark attacks. And they got one of the people who was attacked to appear in their own reenactment, which I thought was pretty gutsy.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's
I
one
guess
thing.
Once you face a real shark, an animatronic one, it's like, whatever, I'll punch you in the face.
Right, exactly.
Well, if you're going to have an actor reenact it, too, I mean, like, you don't want this guy to come in like, oh, I would be like, no, I got bit by the shark, and then I punched it in the face. I pulled an axe out of my Speedo. I was killing that
Exactly.
thing. That's what I would be like.
You know,
hardcore.
Embellish the story a little.
Yeah, Rambo. Well, lots of people today are running, I guess, movie studios, semi-movie studios out of their house with, iMovie and YouTube and all that.
Oh, yeah, indie filmmaking's huge.
It's really big. Can you give our viewers at home some tips on some household products that they might be able to use to do some low-budget special effects?
Sure. The things that I have, well, I used to call kitchen effects in my kit back then was you obviously need Cara syrup, food coloring, and maybe some coffee creamer or chocolate syrup to make it opaque. Or I used to cut jelly beans in half, white ones or yellow ones. Yeah. And you can latex them to your skin and make them look like pussy warts.
Yeah, so this Easter Sunday, take your jelly beans, make some pussy-looking wart things, and take that to Sunday church.
Yep, freak out your pastor.
Send your pastor to the pasture.
There you go.
That's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Terrible.
You don't want that. And then you need clear, unflavored Knox gelatin. Works really well. You can use that for build-ups and scarring makeups, and even pour it into molds to make actual prosthetics out of them. They make gelatin prosthetics all the time.
So you're telling me, Scott, that special effects and makeup artists are just people who didn't listen to their parents tell them not to play with their food.
Exactly. Exactly. We took it as a challenge.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. Well, lots of our students take these interviews as a moment to look at professions that they normally wouldn't get a chance to look at. And one of our seniors here, Devin Burns, has a question about your unique profession.
Special effects and makeup design is a unique profession, especially to our area. How did you get into this profession, and would you suggest it to someone like me?
And that's a great question because it is a very unique profession. Would you suggest it to younger people?
Yes. It's not for the faint of heart. You have to really, you have to be dedicated to it. You kind of have to live it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, you know, you can ask anybody that knows me, I'm pretty much thinking about some sort of special effects or art project all the time.
All the time, yeah.
How I got into it was a behind-the-scenes documentary for Star Wars. I saw this behind the scenes and I was like, wow, these guys, like, they do this all day. And I asked my parents, I said, is this a job? And they said, yeah, these guys.
You gotta love the jobs when you ask your parents, is this a job?
Yeah.
Could I actually do that?
Exactly.
Well, you made up some of the kids here.
Sure.
You've done some things, and frankly, they look better than they did before. So I don't know what you did, but I think 100% better, really. They look wonderful. I know they've loved having the makeup on. It made them feel really special.
Right.
One of our students, Anthony Hood, Anthony, right here, he has his makeup on. It looks like Anthony's got kind of quite a shiner on there. It looks like he's in Raging Bull 2.
Yes.
The Attack of More Bulls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More bull.
Yeah, more bull, which is perfect for Anthony.
Exactly.
So what all did you do to make his eye look like
that's a pre-made
punch in the
appliance. I did an eye bag. This right here is a whole piece, and then this deviation in his nose is a second piece. I glued those down with a prosthetic grade adhesive, and then I went around and did the edges with a filler material to make the transition, you know, easier. And then I just went in with a few scrapes and stuff like that to, you know, make it look like he bounced off a few things.
Anthony, you definitely look like you bounced off a few things. What do you think of the makeup that Scott did for you?
It's awesome because, like, it's, I don't even know what to say. It's just awesome because it looks so realistic.
Do you think your mom's gonna really appreciate that?
She's gonna freak out if I don't tell her it's makeup.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. Well, you did a very nice job on it.
Thank you.
I hopefully you wear that forever, Anthony. That looks really great.
Well, not forever. You don't want to get infected.
It might be infected. So if you want to look like that forever, keep that on, and it'll stay like that forever.
Or just mouth off to a bigger guy.
Yeah. Well, our next student here is Lindsey Willis, and oh, poor Lindsey. Looks like she got shot in the head and her cheeks sliced open. Yep. Which is so sad.
Yeah, it was senseless crime.
Senseless crime. Well, what all did you do to make this?
Again, this is two pieces. You have the bullet hit, which is a very small appliance, can be applied virtually anywhere.
Yeah.
And the same way, put that down and, you know, seamed around the edges. I use a medical grade adhesive. It stays a lot better than your spirit gum or what have you, and doesn't sweat off.
Yeah, it's. I feel like I'm on QVC a little bit there, Lindsey. We modeled. Oh yes, modeled these horrific scars. Oh
Exactly.
yes, they look so wonderful.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think about it, Lindsey?
With this makeup on, I feel like I should just go out in public and be like, run around everywhere.
You might cause quite a stir. Yeah, you need to definitely get that checked out. Yeah. So be careful what you do. Don't go around yelling in the ER rooms.
I speak from experience. That can get ugly quick.
Yeah, listen to Scott. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Well, Scott, thank you so much for coming in. And
Thanks
again, our guest today has been Scott Connor from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Gotta love Pittsburgh. And you can learn more information about Scott or makeup design or special effects by visiting
www.evilgrinfx.com and or Scott@evilgrinfx.com.
Great. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it for coming in. And for Valley Tonite, this has been Nathan Marshall. Yeah, I wanted ice cream and I wanted blood on it, but I got detergent and it was disgusting.
It was awful.
It was the worst.